you have discovered through the expansion of the internet world. I am Johnny Allen, and this is the Johnny Allen 30-Minute Podcast. We're going to be talking about your life, my life, and the world today. So sit back, relax, grab something if you need it, and let's do this. All right, welcome to the 30-Minute Podcast. This is Johnny Allen. How you guys doing out there? Guys and gals out there in the internet world, wherever you may find my podcast, welcome. It is October the 21st of 2021. Say hi to Barkin Barney. Hello. Hey, guys, welcome to the podcast today. As you know, I talk about everyday life situations. That's all I do here for 30 minutes. Just kind of share what's going on with me, and you guys comment and share what's going on with you about this everyday life that we live in, this crazy little mixed up world we live in, right? So yesterday I was out and about, and I filmed. Next week you guys will see about an hour of me out here at Cheney Creek, and based on this book right here by Marilyn S. Kinsley, The Ghost of Cheney Creek. I went out there yesterday. It's actually a stone's throw away from where I reside. And, you know, we just basically camped out right there. Not literally camped out. I took a chair, we sat down, and had the camera out there, and we talked a little bit of ghost stories. I talked a little bit about everything, really. And kind of some related to Halloween and spooks and some not. But anyway, we were out in the graveyard, and check that out next week, guys. I'll put that up. It's kind of, it's good. It's fun. I enjoy the Halloween episode every year. It's a lot of fun. I think next year we're going to change it up a little bit. I want to bring some people in and we'll just talk about it. I've been talking about bringing people in for a while. I think we're going to actually do that. I drink coffee on the podcast. If you guys got your coffee, get it out. It's a Starbucks cup, but there's not Starbucks in it. It is actually CW coffee. I'll have the link below. My buddy Tim up there in Michigan, he has that coffee, and it's great coffee. So a swig to Tim. I hope he's doing well up there. Hope you guys are doing well in general. Like I said, it's kind of a crazy world we live in every day. We read about shootings. We read about people dying of COVID-19. Oh, you know, the same old thing, right? So, and I smile. Despite all the craziness goes on, I keep on smiling. Just like the song, just keep on smiling. I do that. I've lost some friends this year, some family members in the past year and a half. I talk about that a little bit on every podcast, but I talk about that a little bit on the Halloween one, which is pretty appropriate because I'm sitting in a graveyard. But it's been a trying year. I'm still working in healthcare. That's still my bread and butter. The wife and I seem to be doing pretty good. We're pretty blessed as far as we haven't had anything really bad happen, thank God. We've had our share of stuff, but, you know, we've been able to do pretty well through all the chaos so far. I hope you guys are doing well as well. First of all, I want to shout out to some people that follow my podcast pretty regularly. Thanks for doing that. One for Woody. Shout out to Woody. Thanks for checking it out. There's, let's see, Selena. You guys know who you are out there. Katie, just to name a few. There's quite a few more. I'm not going to name all of them. But I did personally talk to Woody. He came up to me and said, hey, I liked what you were talking about last week, so thank you. I do appreciate everybody that checks in. Yeah, I was out there to the graveyard last night, and the reason why I went on the 20th of October because it's a full moon. I'll explain that in the show further. But there was a reason why to go out during the full moon. Now, I didn't actually have a full moon out because the full moon didn't come out to about 10 o'clock at night, and I had to, unfortunately, I had to go to bed. But I do want to get out there sometime when the full moon is actually above the graveyard. I think it'd be really cool. And that doesn't necessarily have to be around Halloween. I may just do that sometime through the course of the year when I'm off and I can stay out there late. So anyway, hope everything, like I said, you guys doing well and everything's cool. I thought about something today, going through my everyday life situations. I thought of something today. It's fall here in the Midwest and the change of the seasons, right? We have 4 seasons here usually. We have spring, summer, fall, and winter, right? And I thought about the comparisons. I compared, rather, your life with the seasons. Now, think about this for a minute. I thought about this, right? This is just kind of food for thought. We're kind of like the seasons. Our life is kind of like the 4 seasons, and not the group. The 4 seasons. Because just think about it. When you're born, that's like the spring. And the spring is like a rebirth, right? Everything that was dormant pops up out of the ground, new life. Spring is new life. So it's kind of like when you're born, when you're a little infant, your spring. It's kind of delicate, right? If you get a bad storm, it could wash it, it could kill. You have a late frost, it can kill growth. So spring's kind of fragile. Spring can be kind of, well, like I said, fragile and also very, the word I'm looking for, fragile. Just very fragile. So, really, because, it's a growing season. Everything's new. So you got to be gentle and you got to really take care of like the plants and everything. Same thing when you're an infant. Your mother, your parents have to really take really good care of you, watch you real well, right? And then it becomes summertime. And summertime is kind of like your youth. You're not a baby anymore. You're not an infant. You don't really necessarily have to be taken care of, really. But you're full of energy. You're a young person. You're a teenager. You're full of energy. You're full of just everything is electric at that time. You have like I said, abundance amount of energy. You go running all the time. It's just a good time. And I remember when I was a teenager, especially in the summertime, it was just fantastic. And even my preteens is fantastic. So springtime is kind of like when you're an infant, a baby, a toddler. It's fragile. You're growing. You have to be taken care of. You have to nurture. That was the word I was looking for. Nurture. You have to nurture the plants. You have to nurture the babies. That's spring. And summer is, like I said, when you're an adult, or not adult, you're a young adult, you're a teenager, you're an older kid, and you're just having fun and you're living life. Kind of like summertime. It's just like, you just go out and you run, and then you fall asleep and you sleep well at night. You get up and you do it all over again, right? That's like the summertime. It's just full of energy, life. Then comes fall. Fall is kind of like where I'm at right now. I'm in the fall stage of my life, where things start slowing down. The vibrance and the green in the summer of the energy is kind of like dwindling. It's getting a little cooler. You have to wear a little more clothes. You slow down a bit. You kind of take it easy. You drink hot coffee or whatever. You kind of get where I'm going with this. You kind of, fall is a time where things just slow down. You kind of just slow, but you lay back and reflect on summer and spring. And that's just basically what that is. You reflect on summer and spring. If you hear voices in the background, I apologize. My wife is talking to somebody on the phone. She's normally not here on podcast nights, but she's here today. So if you hear that, it's not Ghost. I promise, not Ghost. That might be next week, but it's just the wife talking. So anyway, getting back to fall. Fall is like it's like my stage. Like it's your I would say middle aged. It's your middle age, right? That's fall. You're kind of just, you're not at the quicker pace anymore. You're just kind of slowing down. You're absorbing everything. you're kind of just reflecting back on your life, and you're just kind of enjoying and chilling out, right? Because in the fall it starts getting chilly, so you start chilling out. So you got spring, summer, and fall. So like I said, spring is when you're a kid and an infant baby. Actually, you're a baby. You're an infant during the springtime, or that's kind of like your spring part of your life. Summer is your older childhood, teenage years, young adult. That's the summer time of your life. That's when your life is summer. And fall is when you get older, like my age. And then you get winter time. Right? You guys know where I'm going with this, right? And I just thought about this yesterday, sitting out in the graveyard, believe it or not. So then you got winter. Winter, everything dies. Well, at least, in the Midwest and, when you have the 4 seasons. Doesn't if you're in Hawaii, I guess, or wherever. But, generally speaking, in wintertime, everything is cold, it's drab, everything dies off. Very little life in the wintertime. You got to really dig down through the snow and try to find green grass down underneath all the snow that's buried underneath the grass that's buried underneath all the snow, I'm trying to say. So, wintertime is when you're old, very old. Like your time on this earth is almost done. To me, that's winter, when everything's over and you're just kind of hibernating like bears do in the wintertime. So, winter is like when you're very old and you're on your way out. Bye-bye. That's winter. I just thought about that yesterday. You guys comment below if you have any thoughts about that whatsoever, or if you've thought of that, right? I may not be an originator of that, but I just happen to think of it. Spring as a child, infant, summer, fall, and winter. That's kind of like our life. Our life is 4 seasons. Our lives are 4 seasons, man. Think about it. Spring, summer, fall, and winter. And like I said, winter being the final. And then it kind of reminds me of, so wintertime, everything dies, right? And in spring, everything regrows again and comes to life again from the dead seed that had fallen into the ground. And we're going to get into that later on in podcast and future episodes. I'm going to bring people on and we're going to talk about what happens to you after you leave here. I want to get different perspectives from different people from different backgrounds. We're going to really talk about that because it's a subject that I've really been interested in a long, long time. Where do you go after you pass? It kind of relates to Halloween, But anyway, I thought about that today, guys, and I wanted to share it. I'm going to have another drink of CWE coffee. The holidays are right around the corner. We got, Halloween next week, right? And then in 4 weeks we have, or 3.5 weeks, we have Thanksgiving. And then we have Christmas. And then the New Year's. Well, anyway, holidays coming up. They're talking about supply chains, right? They're talking about supply chains. Supply chains. You guys know about the supply chains. I work in a supply chain, a medical supply chain. Okay, with supply chains being questionable and, not knowing if you're going to get stuff, I'll tell you what's a good Christmas present for the people that like to drink the coffee. Go get that CWE coffee. Order some now. That's anybody listen to my podcast, they probably are. It's going to be a spoiler. That's going to be some of your Christmas presents, CWE coffee. Hope you know, gang. That's what you're getting from old Johnny. Johnny A is coffee from CWE. Seriously, get on there, order your CWE coffee. Tim will get it to you in 2 or 3 days. It's amazing. I'm getting ready to order quite a bit of it. Tim, if you're watching, the order's coming your way soon. They make really good Christmas presents. Because where can you get like an unusual coffee that you can't get at Kroger or Menards or Myers or, any place, any of the big outlets or whatever, Starbucks, blah, 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 blah. This is just a really good coffee. And it's great. And it's unique because people get it and go, oh, CWE coffee. Wow, never heard of it. Let's try it out. Boom. It's kind of new. You're on top of it, so to speak. You're the in person. Because, you're introducing them to this new coffee. All right, guys, I'm going to switch gears. And I'm going to update you on, you guys know I'm a musician. If you don't, you do now. I'm a musician. Been one for a long time, 40-some years. I just finished up a project with the Crossroads Saints. All right. And that was a pandemic album. It came out in August of this year. Anyway, some of the songs have been featured and played on radio overseas, over actually in the UK. And we're getting ready this Sunday. They're getting ready to play us again on a radio show over in the UK called Susie P. And I will put the link. I'll try to get you guys, the information where we're going to be featured on this radio show. Cool. Over in England. They've been playing their album over in England quite a bit, and in France, over in Europe. The Crossroads Saints, even a long time ago, when we, 12, 13 years ago, 14 years ago, whenever we first got together and started writing music with Daryl, Mike and I, we had Daryl wrote the song called Rolling On. Great song. I'll probably try to post it sometime. I'll let you guys hear it. It's from the old catalog. That thing was getting airplay. People in Ireland and over in Scotland were loving that song, right? Finland. So the people over in Europe love us. So thanks. If you guys over there in Europe listening to the podcast, I appreciate you listening to us. It supported the band. Also, too, we talked about the COVID-19 shots. They're giving out shots. And today I got a flu shot. Not the COVID-19, but a flu shot. Still the big controversy there. Comment below on that if you guys have any comments on the COVID-19 shot. This guy that's an associate friend of mine. You guys, I got to share the story. It's kind of funny because that's what I do. I talk about everyday life stuff. So today I talked to this fella. I had to make a delivery to him. And he said, "John, you won't believe what happened to me about a week ago, man. I was really sick." I said, "You was?" I said, "Why?" He goes, "Well, I went and got my Pfizer booster. So it's COVID. So apparently he had the Pfizer, two shots. He went and got the third one, right? The booster, because, he said that he just thought he needed to get it. Okay, whatever. That's fine. But here's the catcher. So he goes to the doctor, gets the COVID-19 Pfizer number 3 booster shot. At the same time, he gets the shot for shingles. Wow. He gets shingles in one arm, COVID in the other arm. He said he got sicker than a dog for like 3 days. I said, I bet. His name's Ron. I said, I bet, Ron. So I said, probably not a good idea to get 2 big vaccinations like that at the same time. Just kind of funny. I would not do that. I would not do that. So I wouldn't advise it. He did shake it off in about 3 days, but he said, man, he was down for a couple of days. It took a couple of days for it to kick in, but then when it did, I guess it was vicious. So don't do that. Also, I listened to the radio quite a bit in my car. I surf between about 3 different channels in my car. Do you guys do that? Comment below if you surf, the radio, or if you surf the internet or whatever. I don't know. People surf the internet, right? But I mean, when I'm driving a car, I surf like 3. There's 3 stations I go back and forth to, right? 3. Well, one of them has a lot of podcasts and talk shows, and I like that. And I heard one that's a financial guy, and it's kind of funny because I've talked about coffee, and I know I'm not the original one. But he goes, yeah, I'll pull you up some coffee and let's chat about it. And I thought that's kind of funny. I say the same thing. Been saying it for years. There was another podcast, I don't know if you guys remember early on, when I first started mine about 2 years ago now. I used to call Welcome to Friday Eve. I call Thursday Friday Eves. I haven't done that for a while, but I used to open up with, hey, welcome to Friday Eve. Now, I thought I was kind of one of the inventors of that. Found out I wasn't the inventor of that, which is cool. Actually, there's a lady I work with that said, yeah, Friday Eve. I said, oh, I thought I was the only one that called Thursdays Friday Eve. She said, oh, no, I do too. But this is funny. There's this podcast on another radio station that's local here where I'm at. I've been doing my thing for a while, calling it Friday Eves. And I'll be darned if this guy didn't say, yeah, it's Friday Eve, man, on a Thursday. I thought that was funny. I think, is he listening to Johnny Allen's podcast? He might be. That's just kind of funny how that is. A lot of times, some of the big dogs, big guys, I call them, popular, podcast, radio shows, whatever, even, musicians and artists and stuff, they'll get their ideas from the small guys. I've seen that happen a lot. And you'll think, wow, they'll cop an idea from somebody that's kind of an unknown, like myself. I think it's flattery though, really. So, they catch, they can hop on my thing and take it, and that's fine. Whatever. So anyway, next week I hope you guys check out the Halloween podcast. It's always fun. I goof around with that quite a bit. I sit down, I talk quite a bit. I share a couple of the stories that that have happened to me in the past. It's fun. It's fun to get out there in the cemetery and kind of walk around. I show some of the headstones. I think you guys will really like that one. It's fun to do that. I think after the Halloween episode, guys, I really do, and I really do, and I really do, and I promise I've been talking about this for a while. I really want to get guests. So we'll talk to some guests. If you guys want to be a guest and talk about everyday life situations with me, just hit my email on my Facebook side or on the YouTube side. All you got to do is hit the comments. Let me know where I can get a hold of you, and we'll chat, or you just message me on Facebook, and we'll talk about that. I because there's a lot of interesting people out there that are unknown. I come across a lot of people every day that are quote unquote unknown people, right? That really have some really good ideas, that are really good talkers, that are really good, entertaining folks. That would be really nice to have on. So, and there's hidden talent out there. I like to discover hidden talents, people. It's kind of like Chris and Danielle Daniel down there in Austin. Chris and Daniel down there in Austin. Box Cares Talking Sports. Now, you got two guys that just like sports. Don't have a lot of radio background or anything like that, but they do a really good job. And you discover people like this that do really good jobs that are just not really discovered. So it's nice to discover new talent and get them out there. That's the beauty about YouTube and everything. So today I'm just kind of having like we're sitting in the kitchen and just having a conversation today, because I was up a little bit later last night doing the Halloween show. And this book that Madeline wrote is really a pretty good book. It is, and she's an interesting woman, and she actually lived there for a while. There's her picture from a few years back, but yeah, it was a good conversation I had with her a few years ago, and she signed the book, and of course I bought the book, and she signed the book. Cemeteries are interesting. Spirit world is interesting. It's fascinating, as Mr. Spock used to say. But anyway, I don't have a lot today, guys. I'm just kind of like leading you up to what's going on with the Saints. If you get a chance Sunday, check us out. We're going to be on the radio. At least our songs are going to be on the radio over in the United Kingdom. So we have had some radio airplay. Now, it's not like I can turn on Q95, a local station here in Indianapolis, and get it or anything yet, but it's getting close, I think, to that type of thing happening. And more people, to believe it or not, listen to Spotify. They listen to Apple. They listen to Pandora and all these other things on the internet. Not too many people listen to like radio stations anymore. It's almost a thing of the past. They listen to these what we call quote unquote underground radio, and that's really where the Saints is kind of blown up. I also sent a letter. I guess I shouldn't even say this, but I'm a big fan of Rick Beatos too. He has a YouTube channel. He's a music producer. He's a really good engineer. He has a good YouTube channel. Talks about music. He has guest musicians on there. He's a fantastic musician in his own right, and he has a really good channel. And I fired him. I'm going to say is I fired him an email the other day, and would like for him to listen to the Crossroads Saints, some of the cuts, and see what he thinks. Whether he does, don't know. But be kind of nice. Also, I want to, before I close here, now that talking about YouTube, other YouTubers, I follow Rick Beato religiously, subscribe to his channel, a bunch of them. And one on the other side of the spectrum, I follow My Self-Reliance, Sean James, and Sean James's channel. Thank you, Sean, if you're listening to everything you do. Your channel is great. I've been following him for a couple years now, and that's another person that you would never discovered if it wasn't for YouTube. I mean, a fantastic person who has a lot of knowledge, and he's a common guy like me or you, but he's just a good guy to listen to. He's got good advice, just a fantastic person. So I like following him and what he's been putting out lately in his blog. He has Sean James, which is a blog. It's very interesting. So if you get a chance, I'll put the links below to his channel. I have in the past. That's about all I got today, guys, really. So, because like I said, I just got the flu shot. I'm kind of feeling it a little bit. I just hope that you guys are doing well no matter what's going on in your world. I talked about this before, and basically today I talked about your life being like the four seasons, and that's really what the podcast is today. Your life is like four seasons, right? You got spring, summer, fall, and winter. And when you get into fall like I am, the next season is winter. So you got to make sure, I don't say you got to, because I don't think you have to do anything, really. I suggest that you really savor the flavors, so to speak, of life. Savor every moment. I read so many of these stories. It's a tragedy, like that Gabby and Brian Laundrie story. Tragedy. There's a tragic thing that happened. You got two young people that are lost, basically both of them, in my opinion, lost. You don't want to be like that. You don't want to be a lost soul. You don't want to let your emotions override your reasoning. So whatever happened that caused that tragedy to happen in Wyoming to Gabby, whether Brian clicked or whatever, I don't know. We'll never know. But that's where you have to keep those emotions in check. It's really good to do that. I think a lot of things can happen, even with the world leaders, if they don't keep their emotions in check. Very bad things can happen to everybody, right? And right now I'm afraid that a lot of the world leaders are not keeping their emotions in check. And it's a must to keep those emotions in check. Anyway, guys, thanks for stopping in. If you haven't liked, subscribe, please do so. It'd be just I'd just be thrilled. I'd be giddy. Don't forget your CW coffee. It makes great Christmas presents. It's not too early to start ordering Christmas because of the supply chain issues, right, that we have. Thanks again for the people that follow me regularly. I really do appreciate it. Shout out to Woody. Thank you, Woody, for the nice compliment on the couple podcasts ago. I really do appreciate that. Woody does a great job in his own podcast. It's called Woo. And, it's just what it is in life. That's all I got to say. You look at it however you want to, but look at it as your life being compared to the seasons, right? Because it's so true. You guys take care. Have a nice rest of your weekend. It's fall here in the Midwest. It's getting cooler. I'm gonna get out in the woods this weekend, visit family, get out in the woods. I'm gonna chop some wood. I'm calling this. I'm gonna get my Sean James game on this weekend. That's part of enjoying life. I'm gonna breathe some fresh air, cool fresh air, out in the woods this weekend. It's gonna be great. Whatever you guys are doing, make it great. Take care of each other, love each other, man. That's all I got to say. That's it. Thanks for stopping in. Like I say, every podcast, good Lord willing, I'll see you. I'll see you next week out in Cheney Creek. All right. You guys take care. One last thing. Like I said, Crossroads Saints, you had a chance to go get that record. Please go download it. It's on Spotify. I'll put the link. I'll put the website link down. Go to it. I'm not saying that because it's my band or I'm in the band. I don't even call it my band. I'm a part of the band, right? It's our band. It's everybody's band, the Crossroads Saints, Go get the music. It really is a breath of fresh air when it comes to music, right? And I'm not the only one that said that. We got these critics all over the world that have said this is a breath of fresh air. It is, man. If you want some different music, you want some good, organic, just solid, soulful rock, bluesy kind of stuff, hit the website, go check out the songs, 90 cents, go download the song, man. Come on, right? Check it out for yourself. Let me know what you think. Adios, amigos. See you next time.